For 3 decades, Johnny Carson reigned as the undisputed king of late-night television, bringing Hollywood's brightest stars into millions of American homes. With his warm laugh and quick wit, he made viewers feel like they were catching up with old friends. But behind the curtain, Carson kept a mental blacklist, a private catalog of celebrities he considered not just difficult, but truly awful human beings. While he was always professional on air, those closest to him say that off-camera he often whispered to Ed McMahon about guests who should never be near a camera or a child. In his later years, Carson became candid with close friends about the stars he secretly despised, and his stories revealed a disturbing side of Hollywood's golden age. One of the most shocking revelations involved Joan Crawford. On screen, she was elegance personified, graceful, glamorous, and endlessly charming. But Carson later admitted that interviewing her felt like talking to a beautiful statue with nothing inside. Her off-camera behavior confirmed it. Crawford's demands included studio temperatures fixed at exactly 67 degrees, specific lighting, angles, and her own makeup team. Worse, she berated a young production assistant so viciously that the girl fled in tears. Carson kept his composure on air, but afterward told friends he wasn't surprised when Mommy Dearest exposed Crawford's alleged abuse at home. If Crawford embodied cold calculation, Frank Sinatra brought raw intimidation. Carson respected his talent, but despised the way Sinatra treated people. Surrounded by an entourage that made The Tonight Show feel like a mob hangout, Sinatra once grabbed a floor manager by the tie for daring to give him a time warning. On another occasion, he humiliated a female staff member during a commercial break, prompting Carson to cut him off sharply. Afterward, he told producers, "Limit him to once a year, maximum," for Johnny, who rarely banned anyone that said everything. Then came Orson Welles, the genius who believed rules didn't apply to him. Welles refused prepared questions, hijacked the show for 25 minutes when he was scheduled for 7, and even tried directing the cameras himself. Carson, who prized professionalism, was livid. Though he respected Welles's brilliance, he told McMahon, "Genius doesn't excuse everything." Betty Davis proved equally exhausting. Known for her sharp wit, she turned interviews into cross-examinations, often interrupting other guests and berating staff. On one occasion, Carson himself stepped in when she reduced a cue card holder to tears, quietly warning her, "On this show, we speak to everyone with respect, or not at all." Though he admired her acting, he privately vowed never to invite her back. Mickey Rooney brought chaos of a different kind. Once the world's top box office star, by the 1970s, Rooney was notorious backstage for inappropriate behavior toward young women and for showing up drunk. Carson, deeply embarrassed after one such appearance, personally apologized to a young actress who'd been subjected to Rooney's remarks. Eventually, Rooney's bookings dwindled as Johnny insisted on tighter controls whenever he appeared. Zsa Gabor tested Carson's patience with diva demands so elaborate they bordered on parody, orchids only, a personal lighting technician, and no female guests under 40. She delayed tapings, threw fits over makeup, and once forced Carson himself to coax her onto the stage. "I'd rather interview a cat," he quipped afterward. Yet her on-camera charm kept her returning, much to the staff's despair. Shelley Winters, meanwhile, was a powder keg. Passionate and unpredictable, she often derailed light-hearted conversations with fiery political rants or personal revelations. Crew members even removed throwable objects before her appearances. Carson respected her authenticity, but found her impossible to control, later admitting, "With Shelley, It was like trying to steer a tornado. Jane Russell created problems of another kind. Though a Hollywood icon, her backstage behavior revealed extreme political and social views, including open hostility toward LGBTQ+ staff and fellow guest Rock Hudson. Carson, who quietly supported many in his staff's community, drew the line after she made derogatory comments during a taping. From then on, Russell was never invited back. But the celebrity Carson reportedly despised most was Jerry Lewis. Beloved by audiences for his comedy and telethons, Lewis treated Tonight Show staff with contempt and even disrespected Carson directly, once grabbing his tie on air as a power move. He screamed at crew members, belittled assistants, and made life miserable for everyone behind the scenes. Carson, who loathed cruelty, blacklisted him permanently, later telling friends, "In a town full of phonies, he stands out as truly hateful." Together, these 9 names, Crawford, Sinatra, Wells, Davis, Rooney, Gabor, Winters, Russell, and Lewis, form Johnny Carson's secret blacklist, a reminder that the glamorous icons of Hollywood often hid darker truths. Carson tolerated eccentricity, even ego, but never cruelty. The real test, a longtime producer explained, was how they treated the people with the least power. So valuable. For 30 years, Johnny saw through the polished facades and years overnight. But during Carson's era, the industry protected its stars. That's why his private insights recognized the truth behind the fiction, and once the cameras stopped roar. In today's world of instant exposure, such behavior would end career rolling. He never forgot it.